Good morning, world. Hello and welcome. It is I, Sylvia, with an I. Coming to you live from beautiful Eastbourne by the sea, where spring is about to be springing. We've had storms, and today we've got sunshine and blue skies, and the weather changes as it does. And the year moves forward, and I am looking forward to having a little fun and a little mystery with one thing or the other, as long as it's 8-pointed. Good morning, Carol Ann. Hello, my dear. Thank you for, what have we here? What's Carol saying? A star-spangled good morning to you. Oh, thank you very much. A star-spangled good morning to you too, dear Carol Ann. Morning, Wendy and Marianne. Hello there, my friends. Lovely to have you here with me afresh, anew, new aspects assembling, new horizons to be explored, new star events to be had. Well, yes, so it's been a marvelous week and I've really enjoyed myself on many different levels. And one of the things that I had to do, I was compelled to do, was to make myself a wearable Star Matrix star. And so I went into operation and did that. And I'm really, really pleased with it. And it's just what the spirit doctor ordered. And we'll get into that a little bit in a little while. In a little while, we're going to get into the mysteries of the 8-pointed star. And that's something that I've always enjoyed, and I've always liked the mysteries. The mysteries. Mysterious things. Not boring, tedious things. Not boring, tedious, mundane things. Who needs more of those? I think we've all had enough of those by the end of the week, I'm guessing. Good morning, Clive. Nice to be here. Hey, good morning. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And so, yeah, while we're gathering together and enjoying our time together, and see, I think it is my purpose in this life to bring a little sparkle to the party, a little bit of color, a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of starlight. Yes, a little bit of starlight. Good morning, Pavel. Pavel says, what does Pavel say? Pavel says, I never heard about an 8-pointed star. You've not been hanging out in the right places, Pavel. We're going to get into that in a moment or two. Cheryl. Good morning, Cheryl. Hello. Waves to Cheryl and Pavel and Clive and everybody else. And if you should be joining me later, at a later date, that's fine too. You can slip into the universal time-space bubble that we are creating here this morning. The 8-pointed star. Well, you all know that my thing is Star Matrix. Ilka's just arrived as I'm saying that my thing is Star Matrix. And Star Matrix is about high positive memories of this lifetime, things that we have really experienced, really discovered. I've written a book about it, which I shall put a link to in the description. I've also created a course that people can do, a 12-week course, which is great. Can also be done in a weekend, which is kind of groovy. And I consider Star Matrix to be, well, my thing, the thing I came here to do. That's a big thing to say. But I've been looking for something that can help me, that can help other people, that is simple, that is profound, that is right, that is useful, that stands up to chaotic and crazy situations like we are finding ourselves in at the moment. Something so wonderful that it'll be the joy of my life. And I think that I found it with Star Matrix after much trying, much experimentation, much writing of the books and the courses and the trainings and the poems and the stories and the songs. Lucas. Good morning, Lucas, my dear. Yeah, so I found my thing. Star Matrix is my thing, is what I would like to leave as my legacy. And if I could, that would make me a very happy person indeed. That would make me a very happy person indeed. If the idea of Star Matrix was to go on beyond my personal demise, that it was not just some kind of, I don't know, flash in the pan technique that those crazy people in the 2020s used to do for a little while, but that it's actually something that is passed on from person to person, from parents to their children, and the children to their children. That would be a lovely, lovely thing if we could manage to do that. But, this is obviously beyond my control. I can only do what I can do in my own incarnation. After that, it's everybody else's business what happens to your work. Good morning, Lauren. Hello there. From the US of A. We are so international. I love that. Yeah, so Star Matrix is my thing. I teach it and I write about it, and I'm learning about it because it is so new. There's so many things that I don't know yet. And one of the things that I'm working on at the moment is Star Matrix for two, as a kind of a positive, beneficial experience, shall we say. I don't like the thought of saying that it's Star Matrix therapy. It's not Star Matrix coaching. It's not Star Matrix teaching. It's not. It's something else. And I haven't found the right word for it yet. It's when two people get together and they are going to in-depth explore a star memory. And find what the wisdom and the learning and the energy and the new insights are that are created in that way with another person who's also a person, a human being, two human beings putting their heads together, which is one of my favorite things to do, actually. I love putting my head together with another person. And if there's no interruption from a mobile phone or some other problem, then what happens after a few minutes is that you get into this rapport. We call it a couple bubble, where you're starting to sync together and you are starting to think together. And when that happens, then you become more than just a lonely person or more than just two people, more than the sum of the parts. You are thinking with expanded awareness, and I love that. I absolutely love that. And I miss it so much. Nowadays people come and talk and just a minute, I got to take this. And you never get the chance to get back down into this mystical state of being more than a single human being, which I love so much. Good morning, Barbara. Hello. So yeah, guys, would you like to hear about the mystical 8-pointed star? This amuses me. This really does. I shall presume that there's a resounding, oh yes, we'd love to hear about the mystical 8-pointed star. So when I was doing all the illustrations for the Star Matrix course, I would go whenever a star came up to an 8-pointed star. And that's sort of a modern energy art thing. And it's just a feedback thing I'd make a 5-pointed star and something in me went, meh, 6-pointed star, meh, 7-pointed star, 8-pointed star. Woohoo! Yes, that's right, an 8-pointed star. Star matrix stars need to be 8-pointed stars. And I just love that. So I've made 8-pointed stars. And as I was playing around and just drawing things, I was wanted to make myself one of my painting T-shirts with stars on it. And stars are notoriously difficult to draw by hand. And I sort of figured out how to do it. You start with a circle and you put cross through it and a cross through that cross, and then you connect the lines and you get this perfect 8-pointed star with these perfect sort of geometric figures in it. And I don't know if you can see that behind me, the bigger one here. There's a perfect square in the middle as well. There's loads of really interesting geometric shapes in it. There's also 3 Star Trek symbols. This is made up out of 3 Star Trek symbols, this 8-pointed star. So I'm having my sort of 8-pointed star moments here and thinking how to make them more shiny. And in the end, I thought, well, I'm just going to use holographic foil and cut out the geometric shapes and then reassemble them to have a sparkling holographic star. And that can be my star matrix star. So I went ahead and did this, which is a challenge for me because accuracy and geometry are not what I have previously connected with in art. But in order to create this, I was forced to do that, so I did it. And this fellow behind me here, I called it A Star is Born. And I don't mean people, and please understand, I don't mean me, I know I'm a star. I know I was born 60 years ago. This isn't about me. This is about Star Matrix itself. This is about Star Matrix. Star Matrix is a star. That's what it is. It's a wonderful, like a light explosion or a beginning or a wonderful thing. So then it occurred to me, whilst I was making this one here, the little one, the wearable one, I like that. I thought, I'm going to have a look what sort of the other people sort of over time and space said about 8-pointed stars. And the more I sort of read about it, the more I had to laugh. Now, there isn't a civilization and there is not a culture that doesn't think these 8-pointed stars are just, I was just going to say the dog's bollocks, but that's probably not so nice to say in the religious metaphysical context, but they're just basically best thing you could possibly get. They're amazing. Look, 8-pointed stars, woohoo! Like in Islam, the 8-pointed star is called the Star of the Prophet and is held to be like this super amazing, wonderful thing. And then we've got the chakra system. You got 7 chakras, and the 8th is called the Star Chakra and is represented, of course, by an 8-pointed star. Oh man, and then it just goes on and on and on, whether it's Babylon, whether it's the Judeo-Christian tradition, whether it is Judaism, the 8-pointed star is always like, wow, it's amazing. And I can't even start the amount of positives that are being connected to that. Like high positives. In China, the 8-pointed star is a sign for luck. The most luck you can possibly get. The Babylonians thought it was awesome to have great sex and great prowess in war. In the numerical magical traditions, the number 8 is sort of the beginning of a new level of unfoldment. And this idea is also in the musical scale, where you have 8 notes. And when you get to number 8, you get onto another level and another level and another level. So it's infinite. So there are people who have the 8-pointed star as the entrance portal to infinity, the connection to the soul. And it just goes on and on and on. And I recommend that you have a look at that, 8-pointed star meaning. It completely blew me away. It is just a collection of amazing positives. In some systems, it stands for justice and truth. And yeah, justice and truth. I love that, because Star Matrix it is about justice. It is about this injustice of only focusing on negative memories, negative events and things. That's a total injustice. And we need to look at our star memories to bring back justice. And I feel that. And all these things are in this 8-pointed star. And I absolutely love that. I really do. There's a lot about destiny, like how does that go? The 8th symbol of the zodiac is Scorpio, and that's all about soul's destiny. And when we do Star Matrix and we recover these star moments in our lives, we start making these connections between them. And then from there comes this idea of a trajectory. If the path has been like this so far, then we may suspect that it moves on like that. So there are, and then the 8th house in astrology is about connection. Again, connection between people inside themselves, between people and their own souls. And all of that is just so Star Matrix. And I absolutely love it. I love this. It's a wonderful thing. It's like, I find it always interesting when I pick up on a symbol or a thing and then find that the same symbol and thing has been used elsewhere and in the same context, that it has the same sort of basic energy, the sort of same basic information. And so, yeah, that's good, isn't it? It's not groovy. It's not wonderful. There's one thing I read, you might find this quite interesting. The 8-pointed star, that's the 8 moon phases you can count off on this. And you also can count the 8 major festivals and the 8 solstices and equinoxes. The eight sort of turn of the year, turn of the month is all in this 8-pointed star as well. So I honestly could not have chosen anything better to represent sort of the core essence of Star Matrix and what I wanted, what I searched for 60 years, what I've been searching for. I couldn't describe it better. And at the end of the day, and the most important one to me personally, I love a bit of luck. I love a bit of abundance. I love a bit of happiness and togetherness. But this is the soul, the star inside us, the star that lights us up is our immortal soul that sits up there in the star fields and is so connected to all the other souls. And beyond that, into so many other realms. Ah, yes. Ah, Sue. Okay. So what you reckon? What? And that's just jumped into my mind. Another thing the star has been described as a protective symbol. A protective symbol against chaos and insanity and all the rest of it. Because it just, lights up the night, and where there's light, there can be no shadow kind of thing. And I think that's just a wonderful thing. And wearing this star over my heart center as well is just awesome. I loved, do you know what? One day, the GOE will have enough members so we can have a shop. And in that shop, we can have 8-pointed stars, holographic 8-pointed stars, possibly a little bit smaller, for sort of general purpose wear. And then people can go and wear those for protection and for inspiration and for just sparkling a bit of extra light around the room when you enter. Yes. Carol, I'm loving this 8-pointed star symbolism. My birth number is an 8 too. Ooh, you are blessed, you are blessed, my child, with the number 8. Well, look, I mean, all of these things, we can make up all kinds of things, can't we, really? It's a bit of fun, but there is definitely a wonderful symmetry in this 8-pointed star. And it is, you know, the directions of the compass and all the rest of it. But there is also an 8-pointed star emoticon, which was accepted in the sort of weird place where they make rules for HTML and such. And the 8-pointed star in their system stands for real stars in the sky, which is groovy. I mean, I take that any day. I take that any day. I do not know how many times I have been uplifted, soothed, saved by just looking into the night sky and looking at the stars. You know, just take it at its most basic level. Just a star. Raise your eyes, you know, make a wish upon a star. See, when I look at the 8-pointed star, I feel I'm in infinity. Well, that was a repeating pattern of what these older mystical traditions were saying, is that the number 8 is a beginning or an entrance point into infinity. Because instead of something just ending, it goes on to the next level. And then again, on to the next level, like was with those musical notes. And there comes a point with the musical notes where you can't hear them anymore because our physical ears, material ears, can't hear those notes anymore. But that doesn't mean that they don't keep going on and on and on and on, moving forward into infinity, which I think is really groovy. Good. Martin said, my dispatch rider number was number 8 as well. Well, that's probably the reason you are still alive right here and now. You got the protection and the, million miles on a dispatch bike in central London. Yes, we may ask why you survived this. And perhaps it's the protection of the number 8. Who knows? What have you got here? Number 8 laid on its side represents infinity. Yes, that's, that is choosing that as the infinity symbol is a nod to that magical numbers progression where you get to 8 and then you start on a new level again with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And at 8 is the movement up to the next level, which is fascinating. I like that. It's a portal, says Lana. That's what I like to hear. It's a portal. Yeah, cool. Totally. Absolutely. To me, that's the way and that's where the Star Matrix thing comes in. You know, we were playing around with advertisements for Star Matrix and read out things that people had said about it. And it has just such glowing feedback. But people are saying it's just so beautiful, you know. Somebody said, I feel forever young. And somebody said, this is how to retrain your brain to be more positive. And somebody said about, getting to know themselves better. And it's just beautiful. And so I kind of came up with that slogan, Star Matrix is the way. Like the way to more self-esteem, way to more healing, the way to more intelligence and understanding, the way to learn more about yourself, about your destiny. It's the way. Look at your look at the evidence, the actual evidence of your own life. That cuts like laser beams through the old, hard, cast iron beliefs we've made about ourselves and about each other and about the world and how it works. And yeah, totally, completely agree. It's a portal. Star Matrix is a portal to a different way of being, and it is the way. Star Matrix is the way. It's the portal. Let's see what Cheryl says. Barbara just looked up what 8 means in Hebrew. It means to life, anticipation of all good things to come. Okay. Yeah. You know, wherever you go, whatever culture you're in, wherever you look up this 8 thing, you'll just find a basket of wondrousness. A basket of wondrousness. And depending on the civilization and the people who wrote it, what they thought was the best thing ever. The bestest thing ever. That's what they put on the number 8. What was most important to them. You know, it's really fascinating. And I'm really thrilled that my dear energy mind insisted on the 8-pointed star. Star Matrix is now for me a way of complete life. Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree. It does. It's what we've needed, what we've been needing, what's been missing. You know, what's been missing? It's been missing. And there's an interesting and slightly weird thing with that. I was looking to make a mold of an 8-pointed star and to make those sharp edges. I don't know how to do that, quite frankly. I honestly don't know how to do that. So I looked up 8-pointed stars on the internet. And there are so few of them. It's amazing. It really is amazing. If it wasn't for the Christian star on the top of a Christmas tree that looks like the Northern Cross with the taller spikes like that and then the little spikes and slightly elongated. If it wasn't for that, it is how many 6-pointed stars there are? Millions, 5-pointed, billions, you know. But 8-pointed stars? Hardly any. Why not? They're symmetrical. They're beautiful. They're starry. It's like they're absent. Weird. Yeah, it's very strange. Very strange. As usual, I have to make my own, hey? Hang on, what's Barbara saying on this? Hai Ochi means life and often said during celebrations. Yeah, and that's another one of the positives with the stars, the fireworks, the stars that spark up of a fire when you're having a fire and the family is sitting around cooking their dinner. It's star stuff is celebratory in nature. It's positive. It's not just surviving, not just scratching in the dirt for a few old, roots or something. It is that, sparkliness of it, the freedom, the joy. Stars are awesome. We need more stars in our lives. Definitely proper stars. Yeah, so it's kind of groovy because whatever you might want more of in life, be this protection, be this uplifting, made it more fun, better relationships, more love, more connection with your soul, connecting with a soulmate. I mean, the 8-pointed star's the way to go. Oh yes, and the luck that people are putting on it, that is just the luckiest possible thing in the world, It's evolution. Yeah, where are the 8-pointed stars? Carol says they've been waiting for you to make the connection with the 8-pointed star. I'll put it on the map. Lots of people have made the connection with the 8-pointed star. Lots of them. It's everywhere. If you start looking it up in every school of mysticism, Norse mysticism. The Hopi Indians had the 8-pointed star and said it was a special magical symbol that was given to them by the star people. The Anunnaki had the 8-pointed star as well. You know, lots of people had the 8-pointed star. It's just that it doesn't seems to not be around so much anymore. And just for our own personal look, for our own personal purposes, we can adopt 8-pointed stars as our friends, and we can say, okay, go on in, you can channel all the protection and love and luck and connection and wisdom and new level unfoldments. Give it me all. I'm happy to receive it. Go and give it to me. Looking forward to it. More sparkle, more life, more love. Can't say any better than that, can you? I think it's very, very cool. Ilka says, it's evolution. Yes. Yes, getting on number 8 that's the next step's the new level. Next step's the new level. Exciting stuff, eh? Oh, I love it. It's really cool. So yeah, 8-pointed stars. On a personal note, I had so much fun with my 8-pointed stars that I decided to make the very first. I was so excited, I knocked the microphone there. I got so excited, I made the very first Star Matrix official advertisement. And it features the star, and I'm holding it sort of in my hand, like that, on the photograph. And it says, to boldly go where no one's gone before. Star Matrix is the way. That is a really powerful statement, non-apologetic, made by me, that I believe to be 100% correct, 100% true. To really start interacting with your own star aspects, your own star experiences of this lifetime before you die. As far as I know this, nobody has ever done that at all. I certainly know that nobody has ever done that in a structured and organized and deliberate fashion before I came to decide to make Star Matrix. Nobody's done that. So we are boldly going where no one, in brackets, in therapy, in healing, in coaching, in whatever, has gone before. And Star Matrix is the way. And what I mean by that is this image, and you must have seen that around, where a person is walking along their timeline and they have stars behind them, but they have loads more stars in front of them. And I absolutely believe that by paying attention, finally paying attention to our star memories, our star experiences, is that we're both saying to our powers that be, we want to have more of them. We are interested in them. But I also believe that we learn how we have these star experiences, how that works, because I don't believe they're random. I do not believe they are random. I do really feel that there is order in the universe, that there is a cause and effect, and that we only think that things are random because we haven't quite gotten the bigger picture yet. I believe that we can learn how to have more star events before we die. I believe that. And that is what I mean when I say Star Matrix is the way. It's the way forward. It's the way into the future, where we are wanting, expecting, inviting more star events to come to us. That is what I mean by that. It's the way into a future where we're going to have more star events. The fun thing again is that Star Matrix is entirely content free. And if you don't know anything about it, I really have to reiterate this. It doesn't matter which religion is the only one for you. It's because these are your experiences. You are going to be interacting with your own experiences, and that's how you find your own way in life. This is your way. Star Matrix is your way. It's not my way. It's not the same way as somebody walked 6,000 years ago. It's not the next door neighbor's way. It's not even your twin's way if you are an identical twin. It's your way, your memories, your path, your experiences, and your future timeline with your new star experiences in them. That's what I mean by that. And that's why I can say that and stand by it. I've never been so incontrovertible about a product or a thing that I've created, but I am incontrovertible about Star Matrix. It's the right thing to do. 'Tis the right thing to do. It's quite interesting things being said here. Cheryl says, maybe the 8-pointed star is a connection for the individual, not through a group or teacher. Maybe its tube has come, it's just emerging. Well, a star is born, a star is born. The things I've learned, where I've really, really learned something, were only rarely from a teacher. They were from people that I loved and connected with. And I learned something from them, through them, because of them. And sometimes these people actually had the title of teacher. But considering how many years my aspects spent in schools and universities and research programs and courses and trainings and God knows what, this is actually rare. People are the stars. There are people who can teach us something new. And these people might not have the word teacher in the title at all. They might be anyone at all. The greatest teacher we are still to meet, we might not have met them yet. And we don't know who they're going to be. If they're going to be somebody who's lying in the gutter, or somebody who looks really boring, or somebody who's very, very young or very, very old. We don't know that yet. I think it's time, in many ways, to look at people with fresh eyes. Oh, right. Okay, guys, I got to tell you this before I go. Currently running Star Matrix 21/4, fourth time. And we are on the unit with the star people. Now, star people are people that caused you to have a star event in your life. And what you do in order to thank them for it is you write their name in your book of stars, which is a very powerful thing to do. But you also send them a gift, the gift. And I'm not going to go into what that is if you don't know that yet. So that's the part where we start. But then right at the end of that unit, there's that other question. Now, let us consider when you have been a star person in someone else's life. And that's a really interesting thing, what happens there. I mean, the first thing that happens is that people just shut up, they clam up. It's not that they don't remember, it's that they feel embarrassed or ashamed to tell the story of how they have healed a person or transformed a person or helped a person or done something marvelous. And that really shows us the horrible entrainment we have to only ever talk negatively about ourselves. And, not to, what was that somebody said? Oh, yeah, blow our own trumpets. Recounting an experience from memory is not blowing our own trumpets. It's simply telling what happened. And in the case of any star experience, what that is it's a learning experience for the listeners, but also for yourself. As you are telling that story, you're getting a different angle on it. you are spotting new insights. There's more information becoming unlocked. But also, I'm trying to encourage these poor people. And, one of the things that I said, it's interesting to note that no matter how haplessly somebody has stumbled through their own incarnation, it is impossible that at some point they were not a star person to another human being or to an animal or to an entity of some kind. It is not possible that they were not a star person at some point to something. It doesn't matter. Even the greatest serial killer one day helped a little old lady across the street and restored her faith in humanity in that moment, even if he didn't want to do that at all. It's impossible. We have effects on other people. We have been star people to someone else. We have. And what that does is then you see people like prison inmates in a supermax, and you look at them and you go, wait a minute, does that count for them too? Yeah, they too have been a star person for someone at some point in their life. They are also star people. They just don't know that yet. I mean, we know now. And we're struggling with accepting that and can't write down the stories of when we were star people to someone or something else. We're struggling with it. But yeah, it's the truth. Everybody's been a star person to someone else in their lives, no matter how crazy, no matter how downtrodden or how otherwise despicable these people may be. And that really is a different way of looking at people. And it really is, because if you hate, you might be group B and you hate group C with desperation because group C is so horrible. And your ancestors have already hated group C. Everybody hates group C. But then you come to that moment and wait a minute, group C, they're humans. We can interbreed with them. They are star people too. All of them. Wow. And it does make it really, really difficult to do this old-fashioned kind of dehumanization. There's that word. Dehumanization of the enemy. Everyone's a star person. They are. We need to learn to interact differently. Just like we learn to think differently when we start getting some of that star wisdom back. Okay, righty-ho. Ah, that's nice. Carol Ann said, you just reminded me of a star person moment. I'll write it up later. Oh, yes, I give big thumbs up for that. Absolutely, write it up. It is important that you know the effects you have on people and really look into that a bit. Not from the trauma, crazy angle, but from the star angle. That's what we need to learn. That's what we need to know more about. God almighty. My little star. My little stars. We are all stars. We have been all stars, and we will. I said on that teaching group, I said, I want to be more like that. I want to be more like I am when these magic moments happen. I want to be like that more often. I don't want to be normal or ordinary anymore in any sense of the word. I don't want to be afraid of not being ordinary and normal anymore. I want to be who I can be when I fire on all cylinders more often. And this is my will. And I wrote this in caps lock. And this is my will. It really is. Because, oh God, wasting your time running around pretending to be a Muppet, it just doesn't do any good. And, if you hadn't heard my talk about the ugly duckling and the swan, you're not serving anybody with it, not yourself, not your loved ones, not your society, not your God, nobody. Nobody is served by us lying about who we are, what we can do, what we want to achieve, who we want to be when we grow up. Nobody is served by that. Nobody. So, yeah. The 8-pointed star often also stands for truth and justice. I have mentioned this. Truth and justice. This is why the old sheriffs in the Wild West had an 8-pointed star. Many police forces still do have an 8-pointed star for their police badges, if you have a look. Truth and justice. I'm big fan of it. Big fan of it. All right. Oh, good morning, Roberta Ann. I didn't see you join us. Let's see what Roberta said. Oh, thank you. Roberta says that is one of the best descriptions of why and how every person is of value and not to judge. Yeah, every person is of value. And when we lose that thing, that every one of those in the moment of their death, their life will flash before their eyes, and every one of them will have the star moments of love and connection. Everyone will have them. Well, some might have more than others, but my God, you can't count that and then start a competition. And every one of them has been a star person to another human being or another creature, another entity, even by accident, because you don't have to do it deliberately, even by accident. You can't not be a star person to someone else. So every person in front of you is one of those. And so, thank you, Roberta. I think it might help us refocus our, away from anger and hate of something and towards hope and joy and how we create that. Something positive, something practical, something evolutionary. And there's the star again with the evolution, the next level, next step. Love it. Okay, I'm going to put that on the screen. Martin says, I'm very unordinary. Yes, you are, my dear. Very, very unordinary. Highly personalized in this incarnation. Perfect. Just what I needed and wanted. See what Wendy says. Wendy, thank you, Sylvia. Only just been able to catch the end. We'll catch up on the beginning. A powerful one. Oh, yes. The power of the 8-pointed star. Yeah, do review the beginning of this because this is quite awesome. And also, by all means, look up 8-pointed star meanings and just general, the whole 8 in numerology and in the tarot and everywhere else. It's hilarious. Oh, there's never been a better time to step into our star power. No, no, now, as soon as possible. This is where I would go with that. There's always been some kind of chaos, and everybody always thought it was the worst time in history. This is, it's always something going on. It's the more chaos there is, the more stressed people are, the more they need this star thing. But we've always wanted this star thing. This is what we've always kind of wanted, to find something that is not a hallucination, that is not pretend, that is not make-believe, but actually the evidence from our own experience, the evidence from our own life. That's the awesomeness of Star Matrix. That's the awesomeness. And I don't think there's ever been anybody or any generation ever or any person ever that wouldn't benefit from at least knowing that, so they have a choice of whether they want to continue being a complete muppet or learn something about themselves, about the nature of the universe. Ah. Hello, Janine. Yeah, you need to rewind. Rewind, be kind. Ah. Okay, my beautiful shining stars, my star people. And I can say that totally, because you have got to be a star person. Everybody has to be. Can't not be one. My shining beings, my star people. I am going to conclude with leave you with the joy of the 8-pointed star and with all the blessings that brings, and lots and lots and lots of sparkly goodness. Lots and lots of moments where you just remember to take a deep breath and just look to the sky for a moment and just past the clouds and into that space of those sparkling stars and just be uplifted by starry energy and by happy positives as well. Oh. Okay. Carol says, thank you. I've learned a lot about number 8 today. I was completely unaware of. Always thought it stood for strength and wealth. Yes, and it does. That and so many other fabulous things. It's just actually really funny. Perhaps they keep that in secret societies. And, after you've been there for the 39th initiation, they go like, shh, see this star? I got some secret news for you. But something like that. Who knows? Who knows? All right, my darlings. A sparkling, wonderful week for everyone from me and from Marianne Maywald as well from Germany. I hope that was fun. And let me know if you want to know more about it or have other thoughts on the wonderful, positive star that is the 8-pointed star. Okay, guys, lots of love to you. Have a great week. And I'll see you again for next week. Sunday Live with Sylvia. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.